What's up, Fuel Fam? Today I want to talk to you about fat loss and more specifically, how carbs affect fat loss. Now you can get a million different opinions on this topic, and I'm going to tell you what I think, what has worked for hundreds of clients in the past, and what's working right now. So the number one thing to know is that processed carbs will kill your fat loss potential. And the main reason for that is insulin. So processed carbs, especially sugary foods, breads, white rice, crap like that, is going to spike your insulin really fast, also spike your blood sugar, and the insulin's job is to clear that sugar out of your bloodstream and return the levels to normal. But insulin's really good at storing that if you eat too much. So in one sitting, you're supposed to have about 1 teaspoon of sugar. That's the limit. And think about like a cinnamon roll that has 65 grams of sugar, or even 2 slices of bread that's going to have a solid like 30 grams of starch, which is pretty similar. We can get to that in another video. Basically, you only have so much room in your glycogen stores to store for potential energy. Everything else is just going to spill over and is easily stored in your fat cells because there's nowhere else for it to go. So depending on your activity level, if you work out a lot, you're gonna have more of a higher requirement for carbohydrates. You're gonna have more places to store them because you've been emptying out your glycogen stores through exercise. Now, if you're not moving a lot, then your body's a lot more efficient at storing fat because it doesn't need to replenish those glycogen stores. A simple way to think about that is pouring water into a Ziploc bag. The Ziploc bag for the fit individual is going to be a large size, a big sandwich bag. Now for the inactive person, it's going to be a lot smaller. So you can see how it's going to spill over. Whatever spills out of that bag, if you pour a few ounces into it, is going to be stored in your fat cells. So if you can just kind of picture that and conceptualize it, it makes this real simple. Let me give you a more concrete takeaway from this video, but keep in mind at the same time, everybody is different. So for me, I work out in some capacity 6 days a week. I do weights 4 to 5 days a week. I'm doing some form of high intensity cardio 3 to 4 days a week. I play basketball, I do Muay Thai, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. So my limit for myself, and I don't measure exactly, by the way, I don't count my macros, but I know from experience where it's going to end up and what foods consist, how many carbs foods consist of. So I'm going to eat about 100 grams of carbs a day, which that sounds really low if you refer to like a My Plate recommendation or a food pyramid thing or something like that. But just keep in mind, and this is where the paleo mindset comes in a little bit, humans have been eating less carbs than that for hundreds of thousands of years. So if you're not moving hardly at all, then your carbohydrate limit for the day could be lower than that. So it could be anywhere from 60 to 80 grams, and that's still healthy in my opinion. Now, when you're first starting a fitness program and starting to eat right, forget dieting, that's a terrible word, but when you're starting to eat right and you're just beginning to work out, you can even go on a little cleanse to get yourself off of the sugar addiction, because that's the peaks and valleys that with your blood sugar that you don't want. You can go pretty low. So we're talking maybe 50 to 60 grams of net carbs. Now, net carbs are, really simply put, it's the total amount in grams of carbohydrates you eat during the day minus your fiber. So the fiber doesn't count towards that total carbohydrate number. But just keep in mind, the more you work out, you can eat a little more carbs, but you're gonna do what works for you. So if you're really serious about losing fat, you can still keep that number low and then eat more good fat in the process. Woo! I hope this helps out, and share this video please with someone who could use the information, and I'll see you next time.